you can't see me on camera.
I am alone, but he is there, I promise.
But here's what's gonna happen for this particular episode or video.
You decided you were picking a spot back there on the other side of the table that the tripod is set up on, and you were like, ooh, we should do interviews. So now we're doing an interview because I didn't want to move.
Yeah, I am the director for this one. But we are gonna switch off and ask each other questions. But this is going to be kind of a weird one. Because what's going to happen is
You're just going to surprise me, and we're going to see what happens.
Yeah, I'm going to ask Shaylee a few questions about, like, her life and ADHD and her presumed ADHD.
Not officially diagnosed with anything, but...
we assume that's a thing. Or I know we shouldn't.
For various reasons.
But,
not that self-diagnosing isn't valid, but just do your research. Anyway, sidetracking squirrel, continue.
See, that was evidence numero uno. Yeah, so here we are. So question number 1.
Oh god, okay.
She's nervous already.
I am.
So when did you first feel as though you had ADHD?
You're gonna judge me for this answer, but it's as soon as I got TikTok. Because over the pandemic, well, Dad started it actually because he had it first because he was bored with life and needed something to scroll that was like 6 seconds. It's basically Vine in 6 seconds, so perfect for him. Mm-hmm. So I said for the longest time, I'm never gonna get it, that's stupid. And then one day I downloaded it and started scrolling, and then all of a sudden my feed became a combination of disability stuff, ADD stuff, and aesthetic stuff. So
yeah, and that's all she watches now is TikTok. Last April of 2020, she did not have TikTok.
I did not, and now we're here.
In fact, I had TikTok before her, and I was like, yo, you gonna get TikTok? Like, we were just casually talking at that point. And you're like, no, it's stupid.
And now here we are.
And within like 3 months, she had TikTok. Question number 2. What is this, like, your biggest struggle day to day with your presumed ADHD issue?
Don't make me pick one.
Okay, well, I won't make you pick one, but for example, like...
Last video even, like, we were having I don't even remember now what we were talking about, but you said, oh, right, the computer, because I thought you had only had it for, like, a year. And then you were like, no, it's been 2 years, and I was like, dear God, I have no concept of time.
Fair.
And I don't, like, it's a legitimate, it's called time blindness. Like, we can just sit there for hours not realizing that hours have passed.
Yeah, that's fair.
And we have no, like, internal timeline of when stuff happens. I remember splits and pieces of, like, memories in childhood and whatever, but I have no concept of what order they happened in.
That makes sense. Question number 3. Has your presumed diagnosis affected any of your relationships?
Surprisingly, not yet. I thought it would annoy the hell out of you between the forgetting text exist, not doing things for, like, literally just sitting there being like, I want to do things, but I can't.
So you don't think it's been an issue?
I don't, and I mean, Dad presumably has it too, so him and I think the same way. It annoys Mom mildly, but like in a joking way, so whatever.
Hi. That's me right there. It doesn't bother me at all.
I guess kind of leading off of that, because you said patience was a big thing, and like, my brain is incredible with very specific things. Like, I can remember trivia from eons ago for no reason. And yet, I don't remember birthdays, I don't remember important dates, I don't remember anniversaries. How does that affect you? Because there have been times that I've been like, oh crap, that's a thing that's happening.
Oh, it doesn't bother me. The simplest answer is it doesn't bother me, but the truth is, like, anniversaries and stuff, and if we were able, like, if and potentially when we get to the point where we're living together, you know, I just know in my heart and in my head that your intentions are pure, so even if you were to forget, it wouldn't bother me because I know where your heart is, and that's all that matters. So the truth is, with anniversaries and stuff, I know that it's gonna be me that's gonna be the one that's like, hey, remember we gotta do this, and you'll be like, oh yeah, fuck.
Like, even you had a job interview a couple weeks ago, and then you started talking about a day. I'm like, I'm prepping for the interview, and I went, oh right, crap, that's today.
Yeah, I also knew you were having a crappy day, so I never.
Yeah, that was a whole other
I didn't really want to bring that up, so it was just like I'm just gonna deal with that first, and then I'll talk about my thing and that kind of thing. So, yeah, just kind of. I'm gonna be the guy that remembers the dates.
You are the other half of my brain with everything because I have no brain most of the time.
I'm just here to be the. You have this on your calendar right now, and
Oh yeah, that's in 2 hours.
yeah, you kind of need to do that. So yeah, I've learned to do that over time. Do you? This is gonna be a tough one to answer, I think. Do you think that you will ever stay in one career long term?
Oh, absolutely not. I get bored way, you know this, I get bored way too easy. I've always got passionate things going on the go. Like I've got summer job, theater stuff, this, Found This Babe starting again. I constantly need stuff to do and stuff to keep my brain engaged.
Yes. So what's your biggest challenge with that, with being in a wheelchair then? Is this gonna be a long answer then?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I don't know. I just recently started letting you in a little bit more on what that looks like day to day for me. Like before I would hide all the sensory issues, I would hide all the fidgeting and whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I don't like get up and pace or like run around or do typical able-bodied ADD things, but I do fidget a ton. And I have sensory issues and sound and yeah.
Yeah, that's why we don't go into large crowds very often.
Because, dear God, people and noises. Ugh. If I'm controlling the sound, it's fine. Like with the AT audio we were talking about in the previous episode, if I'm controlling that, it's fine. And sometimes it feels really, really nice because it wakes up the brain and you're like, ooh. But
yeah, how have you adapted to understanding new things about it and kind of changing as you go along?
I think I'm just letting myself do, for lack of a better way to put it, what feels good at this point. Like I know that like I always have to have something running in the background to keep brain entertained with like whether that be music or whether that be an audiobook or an episode of whatever. And I'm always multitasking. Like even if we're not the other day, it was a couple weeks ago. See, no concept of time. Are you okay?
I'm drinking water. Sorry, guys.
Are you okay?
I thought she was still gonna be going.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I just started laughing and I had to bite swallow again.
Yeah, not the other day. A couple weeks ago, we were watching a movie, and I learned that I can't just like sit still and watch a movie. I'm either scrolling my phone or when I was with you, I was writing. Like,
Yeah.
I can't just be sitting and doing one thing.
No, and that's fine.
I also apparently talk really fast. I'm now realizing. And talk with my hands a lot, which is probably why sign language is stuck.
That's fine. That is totally fine.
What's it like living with me and being, well, not living with me, but being in a relationship with me?
Well, the honest truth is, okay, honest truth, love her to death, obviously, easy. But it's a lot of patience. You just gotta be really understanding. It's just kind of like, okay, she hasn't answered me in 10 hours. That's cool. I gotta be cool.
Yeah, because I regularly forget that you exist.
Yes.
Because I will open the text and reply in my head and then close it.
Yeah, that's happened to me, and I'm pretty sure that's happened to everybody else. So yeah,
I
that's
just do it a lot more often.
yeah. So that's the thing that I've learned, like over the 2 years. I've gotten better at it since the reincarnation of our relationship, for sure. But it's kind of just like be really patient, be understanding, and don't like. My biggest thing is I have to just let you go and be yourself, because if I do anything to hamper that and not allow your creative side, because from what I've learned based on what I've read anyways, a lot of the people with ADHD or ADD, whatever you want to call it, they're very creative and have incredible minds, and she's one of them. So,
tell them about the song thing.
sorry, song thing?
Yeah, with that one particular song that I Shazammed, and I was like, this is.
Yeah, sure.
Because
Basically,
that's one of the situations where you were like, holy crap.
yeah,
She's an interesting
she's
person.
Sherlock Holmes of music.
Yes.
So basically, she was listening to a song in the dining hall of her new area, and immediately was able to go into the archives of her brain and decide that it was from a House episode.
Yes. And I can see the scene in my head, and I know exactly where it came from.
And therefore, she Shazammed it
And wanted it.
and put it on Spotify as a result. So, just to answer the question in finality form, is just really be patient and understanding, and just let them be themselves. I've found is the best way to do it, and don't try and hold them down. Just let them be themselves.
Yeah.
Is the way I would answer that question.
Yeah.
As someone with CP and presumably ADHD, what would you, as a person that is learning about this and may or may not have it, what would you recommend people do in terms of handling it if you're in the same situation? Like, so do you have advice for anybody?
I probably shouldn't, because realistically, all of my criteria has come from TikTok and other ADD creators. But I mean, I guess just do what works. Find a thing that feels good. Find a thing that makes you focus. Find a thing that makes you, whatever. And I can't even finish that sentence. I knew where I was going with that, I swear.
Find the thing that makes you happy and go for it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. The last thing I will say as a result of all this is the things that I've learned over time did take time. Like, I was not built this way. I did have many things I needed to work on
Yeah, I mean, same. But
as a person to be able to love and support Shaylee the way she deserves. And for many, many months, that was not the case. And so it took me like a while.
yeah, my impulsivity did not help our relationship at all.
Because I wasn't prepared for it. And
Well, I didn't even know why I was like, I am the type of person that'll jump from thing to thing to thing to thing to thing, and I thought everybody did that, but apparently they don't.
no, it wasn't even, it's not even that. It was just like, I was the type of person to be like, okay, here's the pros and cons of what you're doing, and here's why. Maybe we should think about this first. Having said that, as I was saying, I've learned over the months and time that we've been together, and the time that
We are currently together.
actually the time that we weren't together really made me change my mindset, because I needed to understand that there's things with being with a person like Shaylee that I can't control, and I need to be okay with that.
And I mean, there are times where you gotta be like, dude, this is probably a really dumb idea, let's not do this.
Yeah, but like there's a lot of it that was small and minute, and it's just like, okay, let Shaylee be Shaylee and let her enjoy her life without the worry of a boyfriend holding her down. And I'm not gonna be that person. And I'm working still at being the best that I can be. I'm not gonna be perfect all the time, but the truth is I'm growing and still doing my best.
And you're learning all of my quirks, like you're learning about the fidgeting, you're learning about the sensory issues, you're learning about the randomly dropping into accents for no reason.
Yes, I've learned all that. I'm totally cool with all that. Quite enjoy some of that. So that's never an issue, but I guess the only way to end that off is I love Shaylee, no matter what. So,
And no matter how much of an executive dysfunction-y mess I am.
yeah, there's just, again, I'm going to learn as with her and read and continue to try to be the best that I can be for her, because she deserves that. And we'll go from there.
Mhm.
So,
So are we ending there?
do we end together or do we end separately?
I mean,
Click like if you like the video. Subscribe if you really like it.
notification bell so you never miss any of our posts.
Tell all your friends. We love you.
See you next time.
See you next time.
Where are the stars tonight?